If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Welcome out. We are live at High Tops. Give it up for Brendon Ayanbadejo. I learned how to pronounce that 12 years ago. People around the office today were, yeah, how do we pronounce that? The girl at the front desk said, people are calling and they're saying Brendon, and I said, just BA, man, right? I mean, is that the easiest way to do things?
Yeah, it's nice and easy, but, you know, Brendon's my middle name, and no one can say my last name, but people tend to call me Brandon, and they can't say my first name, which I'm not going to even bore you guys with, and then, so the next easiest thing is just BA. You can't say my last name.
So your first name is like Obafemi?
Yeah, it is.
It's not Brendon?
It's Nigerian, yeah.
Come on, give it to me.
It's Oladele.
Oladele.
Yeah.
I got that.
That's a little too ethnic for Baltimore, though. You know?
I know how to spell it, actually. B.A.
Right.
It's pretty good.
B.A. It's nice and easy.
That's good, man. Well, how you feeling today? I mean, we saw you out there. First off, when you planted Roethlisberger on his back, I said, that's my guest on Monday night. That's what I said.
Am I your guest or are we co-hosts?
I don't know who we are.
Trust me, you're the star, dude.
We're figuring it out.
No, it felt good, but you know, playing special teams, I was like, I'm gonna get up, and it wasn't a sack; it was a hit on the quarterback. So I'm like begging my guys around me to help me out on special teams because they're not gonna take me off of special teams, but I can keep pretending. You know, I want to be a defensive star one of these days. You know, in the future of my career. You know,
right. So, what do you have left? 10 years left.
I got about 10 years left. I'm still a young.
Seriously, how many years do you think you can play?
Well, I'm 35 now. I'm gonna take it 1 year at a time. I know I'm gonna have a great year this year, and we'll see what happens next year and just go from there. There's no reason I'm saying, oh, I'm gonna play 2 or I'm gonna play 5. I mean, why put that added pressure on myself? I'm gonna play this year and then take it year by year after that.
Well, before we get into the game, I just want to kind of set the scene for us doing a show here together. Known you for a couple of years, but more than that, known your brother from the very beginning, and he came with Brian and all that stuff. Your brother used to join me over at the barn many moons ago and doing shows with me. You and your brother were the first early adopters of social media. So while we're getting on this, we are broadcasting live on Ustream. I'm looking right now. We have 8 viewers, which we'll add to. But we've only streamed a handful of shows ever, and we really kind of want to get into the video streaming side of things. You and your brother were the first ones to grab YouTube and grab a flip phone and really start doing reality TV before reality TV was even semi-cool. I mean, what got you into that and get you involved? Because I knew your brother, I didn't know you at all, and I would watch the YouTube videos around your apartment in Chicago, and I thought, and when they signed you, I'm like, hey, I know that guy, you know?
Yeah, you know what, we were born in Chicago. We lived there till we were about 10 or 11 years old, and we thought it'd just be cool to just document, our lives being bears together. So that's what we did, and more so we did it for ourselves than anybody else. So, we'd look back and, I get to go back and look and see my family 5 years ago when we shot that stuff, and it's pretty cool to see everybody and how we interacted with each other and everything, but more so we shot it for ourselves, but we wanted to share it with everybody else as well. So we grabbed those little flip cameras and started recording and just everyday life, and it ended up being a really cool experience. And now, we have this little videography of, our 2007 season, or part of our 2007 season together.
That was Super Bowl year.
It was the year after the Super Bowl. So, everyone has that Super Bowl slump and all that stuff. So it wasn't as good as we were hoping it would be. The team, we actually didn't go to playoffs that year or anything. And then, my brother ended up getting released from the team as well. But it was good while it lasted. It was a cool experience.
Absolutely. Luke's here. Luke's in the locker room every day, so we want to welcome Luke into the program and do everything. But we haven't done the ensemble thing. It's usually just me or just Glenn or just you. So I'm going to beg out of here after the first segment, but we're going to iron it out. So beg on it.
Hey, seriously, you said the Super Bowl slump. Did you know this was going to happen yesterday? Did you have this feeling? You mentioned the word Super Bowl slump.
Well,
Did you get a feeling?
I mean, our whole thing was the game doesn't have to be close, and we'd always talked about it, winning by 14 points, and every time we play them, we play a similar game to what we did yesterday. We finished today, and in the past we didn't finish. We've had our foots on their throats before, and this game we played on all 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. Just wasn't 1 or 2 phases. So, we've been close to where we were yesterday, but today yesterday we really finished and got after them. Where other games could have been like that. The playoff game could have been like that. We were up 21-7 at halftime, just like we were yesterday, and things didn't go our way. And we just did it yesterday, and our whole philosophy was it doesn't have to be close.
Was there a moment during yesterday's game where you looked at yourself and said, this is going to go a really interesting way today? Was there that one moment where you just knew what you were in for?
I mean, just from the start of the game, the way that everything started going, you know, that first run from Ray, and then the next play is down the field to Q. So it was just one of those days. But for me, you know, it wasn't over until 60 minutes was over. Because I've been in this position before with this team. I played them 7 times in my career, and yesterday was my first win. And I played on 3 different teams, and I've lost on every team that I've ever played while I've been on the field. So, you know, I was just, you know, trying to press fast forward on that clock, get the game over with, and we got out of there with a very nice victory. So I'll be elated today.
That's in your head. You mentioned that you'd never beaten the Steelers. You're honestly, all these guys like to say, dude,
it's in the fans' heads. I'll tell you that much.
It's not about that, but you thought about that.
Well, I mean, I played them 2 times before I became a Raven, and since I was a Raven, I played them 5 times. So yesterday was my 8th game against them, and you know, it just in my head, I know, you know, I never beat the Steelers, and I never beat the Colts. Lost to the Colts in the Super Bowl, lost to them in a few regular season games, lost to them as a Raven as well, and you know, we got the Steelers on the schedule 2 times this year. We got the Colts on the schedule this year as well. So
we need to print up T-shirts. It's the Brendon Ayanbadejo payback tour.
Right. You know, I circle those games on my calendar. You know, so I know what teams, you know, we tend to have, or I know what teams I tend to, you know, be playing against. That I haven't had too much success, even though I may have had individual success, but not too much team success. I look at those matchups and I circle them, you know, way ahead of the season begin. You know, right when the schedule comes out.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.